Hey guys, do you remember a while back I done a top 10 favourite Pokemon, least favourite Pokemon, sorry, and told you I was going to do my top 10 favourite Pokemon, and it took kind of a while to come out, but here we are with the final list. Trust me, like, I was still doing this today, like, trying to figure out what my top 10 were. Like, as I said, I might do one later, like maybe not this year, but later in the channel at some point to maybe upgrade this list. See what other make the list. See what other Pokemon can make my top 10 favourites, you know? And what's going to be playing in the background is just me playing the Nuzlocke challenge, just episodes you've seen before, but it is honestly laziness. It saved me from recording more footage when there is plenty there for me to just voice over and just show you little clips of things and photos of Pokemon that I've got just to so you know what they look like and stuff. You know, the usual stuff. The usual Pokemon stuff. So I'm gonna like the first half of this list is genuinely just like appearance wise, and it's just there's crazy reasons why they're my favorite Pokemon. But the other half, which is mainly older Pokemon, because I've said before in my Nuzlocke, I'm quite old school in that because like I know a lot of people poop on the like first gen in that because a lot of people think Muck and Greymar are kind of ridiculous designs, but I'm like, yeah, at least they're not a bin bag though. I'd much rather a pile of slime than a bin bag as a Pokemon. I don't know why, but that's just me being old. I think like I'm only in my early 20s, but as far as like trends go, I think that's just me being old. So we're gonna start this list. And first off, we're going Tortuga. Don't know how to pronounce it, but the turtle Pokemon. Because honestly, since day one, I've loved turtles. I love turtles. I have a pet turtle called Jaime, named after Jaime Maussan, the ufologist. But I didn't even know there was a turtle Pokemon until today, if I'm completely honest. But he made the list. He was cool enough to make the list, and his evolution, can't remember the name of him, but he's also like part of that list. He's in with Tortuga, the turtle Pokemon. Absolutely love it. And then for the second Pokemon, we're gonna go Haxorus. I'm sure is the Pokemon that evolves from Axew, wee cute Pokemon. I think he's one of my favourites because in the Pokedex it says that he's kind hearted, but he's also terrifying and honestly it's kind of relatable. Like being nice, but also being scary, just to keep people on their toes. I mean, but let's be honest, Haxorus looks awesome anyway. Like, if they don't make a list, then who does make the list? You know, I'm just going on appearance. I'm shallow like that. I'm kidding. I'm not actually, but for this list, that might be. And then we're gonna bring in the newest Pokemon to my list because, as I said, I'm old school, just old in general. But third on the list is Toxtricity. I first caught this Pokemon in my own playthrough in Pokemon, and I got the amped up version, I think. And honestly, just see since I saw Toxel, well, obviously Toxel for the start is adorable, wee toxic poison baby, that just ugh. And also, Toxel and Toxtricity helped me beat a lot of gyms in my own playthrough of Pokemon. It's kind of amazing, to be honest. But he's really cool. He's just really awesome looking, and just when he evolves into Toxtricity, he just looks so fed up. He just looks like they're done with life. Both of them, you know, they're like, oh, I can't be annoyed fighting anymore, you know. So I really like Toxtricity, both forms. I just maybe prefer the amped up version because it was the first one I got. So, fourth Pokemon on the list is gonna be Armaldo. We'll go with Armaldo. And honestly, for my whole life, I always thought that the Pokemon's name was Armadillo. and apparently it's not Armadillo, it's Armaldo. So that's kind of ruined my life a bit. But the thing with Armaldo is, like, I don't even know what show he's on, or like, I haven't watched him in Pokemon. I haven't really got him in many games. I got him in that one game. I was really proud. I can't remember. But I had an Armaldo Pokemon card, and when I was in primary school, and all of my friends wanted it off me. So I was like, "You ain't having this card." They were honestly, they were. I mean, we were probably a bit like what, under 10. And they would have sold their lives for that card at that point in time, because back in school, Pokemon cards were like a way of life at some point. I'm kind of gutted that that trend died. But all of my friends wanted my Armaldo card. And honestly, that is why it's one of my favorite Pokemon, just because I had that and my friends didn't. It's a bit petty, but survival of the fittest. And when I say fittest, I mean best Pokemon card. Survival of the best Pokemon card. It's probably not a good reason to some people to like a Pokemon, but here we are, loving Armaldo. So for the fifth Pokemon, I'm gonna bring in Drampa. I don't actually really know much about Drampa. I didn't even know it was a thing until I played Pokemon Sword. And my brother was like, "Hey, do you want Drampa? Because apparently it's exclusive to Shield." And, well, I took it obviously, because we swap Pokemon, the exclusives. And I honestly, from the first second I saw Drampa, I thought instantly, "You look like Falcor, the dragon dog thing from the Neverending Story." And ever since then, I kind of loved it. And then I read into Drampa, and apparently he loves people, or they love people. They love, like, apparently it says they love, like, children more, and they get on with children, that's just so cute and noble. It's just this big gentle giant that love children. And it also says that if a child that it's friendly with is getting bullied, it will go ahead and burn that bully's house straight to the ground. And what's more noble than that? Defending a bully? A bully victim. Defending a child that's being bullied is amazing. That's pretty awesome. And I mean, if that child survives the house burning, then I'll teach it a lesson. Won't bully a child ever again. You've had the wrath of Drampa. You know, you survived being having your house burned down for being a bully. I was gonna say you deserve it, but it's a bit drastic for a child's show, isn't it? I'm gonna assume they don't show you Drampa burning bullies' houses down. And that's pretty sick if they do, but also kind of cool. But six, we're on the last half of my favourite Pokemon. I don't know, I can't remember if I said, but I know this might be going a bit quickly, but my top 10 least favourite Pokemon kind of lasted for a good wee while. So I'm kind of trying to get this going out quicker and try to keep the flow going. Because it took me a while to get this list out, so we're going to start. Sixth Pokemon, we are going to put in Gyarados. Gyarados. Because he's old school. He's like Gen 1. And he evolves from Magikarp. Like, when you first see Magikarp, and all it can do is splash. And splash isn't even an attack. It doesn't do anything. It always fails. Magikarp is possibly one of the most useless Pokemon on the planet. But it has a glow up and a half. I don't even know if you can call it a glow up. Like, because he does glow. Yes, a glow up. Call it a glow up. He has the glow up of the century. No one talks, well, probably a lot of people talk about this, but no one talks about Magikarp's glow up and how he deserves an award for turning into Gyarados. But also, Gyarados burns down whole towns and cities apparently with its rage, and that's pretty badass, if you ask me. He is apparently Gyarados is also apparently a water flying type. Like, I don't know about you, but I always thought he was just like a water serpent, like a sea serpent. And as far as I'm aware, he doesn't have appendages like wings or, well, the mega version might have like sort of wings, but imagine seeing a Gyarados coming at you from the sky, and then there's like ones coming at you from the sea. Man, Gyarados could take over the planet. I'm telling you that. No, for free. Gyarados happening. Revolution. Because they're sick of being bullied as Magikarps, and then they evolve and they're just like, you know what, screw you! But yeah, they burn down whole towns with their rage, and that's also pretty relatable. Who hasn't wanted to burn a whole town down? Subscribe if you want to burn towns down. Kidding, don't. Well, subscribe, but don't burn places down. There's no need for that. After Gyarados, we're gonna go Absol, because Absol has always been one of my favourite Pokemon since I knew that it existed. I always thought it was awesome. It always kind of looked a bit like emo gothy with a like side fringe, you know. And then it's got that horn. The horn, I wouldn't really call it a horn. I'd more call it like a facial spike. But the horn can apparently detect disasters, and that makes Absol a disaster Pokemon, which is it's a pretty cool title. Absol Disaster Pokemon. You know, like I know they wouldn't do that, but in my head, that's what they do. And they come down from the mountains. They live in mountainous areas, apparently. Apparently, all Pokemon live in mountainous areas. And once it detects a disaster with its horn, it comes down to warn people. And how nice is that of Absol to come warn people of disasters coming? If only real life had an Absol to warn us of disasters coming. That would make life so much easier. And I also, whilst I was looking for like photos of Absol, I came across this monstrosity. And honestly, like, you don't need to see Absol without fur. It's just kind of scary. It should always have fur. Don't shave your Absols, they need their fur. That just sounds weird. Don't shave your Absols. But yeah, it was really weird. But other than seeing the furless Absol, it's one of my favourites. And now, third last from the list is gonna be the almighty Tyranitar. Because, like, when I first made my list, the excuse I had for loving Tyranitar was because he's basically Godzilla. Basically the Godzilla of Pokemon, and if you don't like Godzilla, then, well, I mean, you're cool anyway, but you're much cooler if you like Godzilla. I'm kidding. Godzilla's just awesome. Like, he's just, you know, big radioactive lizard thing. But yeah, he's huge, and although he comes from, what is it, a Larvitar? Yeah, like you have to get Larvitar and then go through Pupitar, like the kind of cocooned version, which is kind of crazy because I never really pictured Tyranitar coming from a cocoon. Like, how can you be that small and be so big at the same time? You know, it just doesn't make sense. But that's why he's awesome, because he's huge, and apparently he has an insolent nature, which basically means he doesn't care about others, and that is relatable. Tyranitar is awesome. He doesn't care about anyone and just thrashes around, lives in mountains, and comes down looking for a challenge. Like, he's just like, I'm the strongest around. Come see if you can beat me. And I'd try and capture a Tyranitar if I could. The Absols come down to warn us about Tyranitars. Now there's a story. And second last, we're going old school for the last two, obviously, because as I've pointed out, I'm old. The second last is we are going with Scyther, because he's awesome, and he's got ninja-like speed apparently, which is pretty awesome because, you know, he's Scyther, he deserves it. They deserve it. I keep saying he, it's just like my go-to pronoun. But the first like proper episode I think I seen Scyther in is season 2, the Orange Isles or something, episode 17, because I had to look it up to get this clip. Is the clip where, no, the episode is like there's this one Scyther who's older than like the other Scythers, and then he kind of gets bullied, and they don't let him join their pack, kind of thing. And like he goes through a lot just to try and prove that he's worthy, and gets beaten up really bad. And then he's in hospital, and then Team Rocket come and kidnap all of the crew that he wants to join. And even though he's in a hospital bed, he tries to go and rescues them. And
What is it? What's the matter, Scyther?
Scyther, wait! You're too weak to...
Scyther, don't!
Scyther!
Scyther, come back!
Scyther! Scyther!
Scyther!
Scyther!
Scyther!
honestly, it's pretty emotional. I do remember crying the first time I saw it, and I've cried as an adult at it. I'm not even gonna lie. I cry at everything. I'm emotional. I'm a woman. I have hormones, and I cry at everything. But that episode was really emotional because I felt so bad for Scyther. I'm quite sure it ends happily though, and they finally accept him in because he saves their lives. So, you know, you have to bring someone into your crew if they save your life. It's just kind of a bit of a asshole move if you don't, innit? We are on the last Pokemon of my top 10 favorites list. I'm gonna do a drum roll. It's Gengar. Because Gengar is absolutely amazing. His big menacing smile. I don't know if menacing is the word. But his really cool, evil smile is iconic across Pokemon land, world, galaxy. And honestly, he's cute. He just likes scaring people. He loves a good scare. And who doesn't love scaring people? Like, people don't like being scared. But sometimes, like, honestly, jump scares are hilarious sometimes. And Gengar just tries his best. But then I also wanted to talk about that one time that Gengar and the gang, Ghastly and Haunter, kill Ash. Like, it's technically no their fault. And the episode is called Tower of Terror, and, you know, it basically describes the whole episode. They're in a tower full of ghosts, the three ghastly goos, and a chandelier falls on Ash and Pikachu because Ash jumps to the ground because they fall through the ground because Ash doesn't think they're funny, and they get really upset, and that's kind of rude to Ash on Ash's part because they're just trying to scare him. And he doesn't think they're funny, and they get all sad and fall through the floor. Ash jumps on them, and then the chandelier falls, and they die. And Ash and Pikachu are just jumping about as a ghost. And honestly, I think a lot of people forget about that. The time Gengar and the gang killed Pikachu and Ash.
You're not supposed to make it laugh. Do you really think I'm afraid of you?
Gengar!
There are more of these? Are you guys trying to be funny? Your routine really isn't working for me. They're pretty sad.
Honestly, it's iconic. I mean, they don't die forever, unless they did actually die, and the whole of Pokemon's just been like a whole dream sequence ever since then. That would be crazy. Conspiracy theories. Anyway, that is just why Gengar's my favourite Pokemon. He's awesome. He's purple. I love purple. He loves to scare people, and he killed Ash and Pikachu. Didn't teach Ash anything. He died a few times, and he's still not learned how to age. Maybe that's why Ash doesn't age, because he died so many times, and he's really just a ghost. There you go, there's a conspiracy theory. It's probably already out there, let's be honest about that. It's conspiracy theories on everything, guys. But yeah, that's my top 10 favourite Pokemon. I hope you enjoyed and let me know your top 10. I'd love to discuss that. I like talking about Pokemon and I'd be really interested to hear what your favourites are or your least favourites. You know, we can talk about that. I don't mind. But I'd also like to put a disclaimer out there. Like, if you don't like my Pokemon list, if you don't like my top 10, if you don't agree with it, then that's fine. That's fine. But don't poop on it because it is genuinely just my opinion. And some of them just made the list today, so it wasn't last minute. It took a couple of weeks to whittle down my top 10 favourites. But as I said, it's just opinions. But let me know your opinion. If you like some of the Pokemon on the list, if you agree, if you don't, let me know what your top 10 favourites are, or just your favourite Pokemon. But yeah, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a good one. And I hope you're staying clean, washing your hands still. You don't need to stay indoors as much, but just stay away from people when you do. Just. But the world is crazy, so I hope everyone is staying safe and clean. And until next time, guys, Thumbs is out of here.